Hello, this is going to be another zombie llama video, but not really a crochet video. It's going to be more about gauging, just because I've had another experience to share with the YouTube worlds. So I recently had to gauge my ears down to the size 0 because my piercing fell out at a double 0 throughout the middle of the night, and it caused a lot of irritation while it was falling out. And when I tried to put the double 0 back in the next morning, when I noticed it had fallen out, it just wasn't gonna go. So as opposed to forcing it and causing my ear tons of trauma, I decided just to put the 0 in and give it a little while, and now it feels completely fine. Like, I can pull on it. I can even pull the piercing through the back side of my ear without any tension whatsoever. So what I'm going to do is I have my hands clean again, as well as my surface, my piercings, all that jazz. I don't really like to use gloves just because I'm like really sensitive and I can't usually deal with most of the things that gloves are made out of. And I don't really want to spend a bunch of money on non-latex, non-whatever gloves. And it's just really easy to clean your hands. I mean, unless you're doing surgery or dealing with like an open wound, like literally like bleeding, gushing wound, I don't know. I don't want to spend monies on them gloves. So anyways, I've been massaging the same lubrication product into my fingers as I have been. Just get back in the camera. The oily goodness. So it's all warm and good, and I'm massaging it into my piercing, making sure everything is properly lubricated and that everything is going to be super happy when I do put the jewelry through my ear. So, massaging. Like I was saying in my previous video, you should do this as much as you can stand doing it. Like, if you can do it for 10-15 minutes, that's great. I mean, it's like, how would you imagine getting a 10 or 15 minute foot massage? That's pretty much how your ear is feeling right now. So I'm getting my piercings ready and such, but back to massaging. My last video I did have double 0, and like I was saying, it came out in the middle of the night, but it came out through taper first. The O-ring was still on the piercing, and I must have just laid on it just perfectly wrong to make it shove through my ear. And my ear, I guess, wasn't ready to be scraped up by a taper. The flare end of a taper. I really don't blame it. So I left that bit out for a little while. A couple of days. I think it's been 4, 5, 6 days since I've done that. And now we're going to be going back up to double 0, which is what I had the last time I did this video. And of course I've gone back down to piercing because after making this video, or the previous video, I've decided that I wasn't really a huge fan of the way that tapers, double pierced tapers, looked on me. I don't plan on gauging this piercing any bigger. If I do, you'll definitely be the first people to know. Okay, so thoroughly massage my ears. My ear looks a little red on the inside just because I'm a redhead. Yeah, you see that? That's red hair. Not dyed. So I take my taper again like previous, massage it with the shiny bits of oil that are left on my hands. Try really hard not to touch my lubrication vessel after I've touched my ears. Not because I think I'm dirty or anything, just because it's a little more hygienic. I mean, it's your own bacteria, your body can work against it, but it's probably still better not to test it. So anywho, my taper has been properly massaged, and I would go ahead and set it in my ear, support the back side of my piercing, push gently until it pops through. So because I was super nice to my ear, I literally felt nothing. And because I didn't pressure anything into my ear, it just literally, like, look at it, it's falling back out the other side. There was no tension to hold it in place. So pop it back in, grab my tunnel, put it in place, push it through, and I felt pretty much nothing, like literally nothing, because I was perfectly gentle and nice and healthy to my tunnels. I properly massaged them, especially when your ears have irritation. You definitely need to hydrate them with canola oil or stretching balm, or not canola oil. I don't honestly know if that one's okay. I haven't done much research into that one myself, just because I know that the stretching balm really works for me. This guy that I got from the kit that I showed you previously, and coconut oil. Those have worked for me. I don't think you should probably put canola oil on your ears. I'm not really sure. But that's neither here nor there. So the moral of this story is be nice to your ears, because it's so much easier to go from a 0, which is this guy, to a 00 than it is to have your ears cosmetically repaired and having to go back from piercing to whatever gauge you decide that you really want to be at. So, I mean, my ear has 0 redness. I mean, it was super irritated after that video because I was pushing a taper through a piercing that really wasn't ready, but it was fine with. I left it in for a couple of days. Had no adverse reactions. So yeah. And that's pretty well it. If you're taking care of your ears long term, you definitely need to hydrate them regardless of what size you're at. It's really hard for your body to circulate, give a good circulation of blood flow to those areas when they are separated like that. Your body's not generally actually meant to circulate blood through a piercing or anything else like that. That's just not what our body's designed to do. So you need to give it a lot of extra care. So, yeah. Be nice to your ears. You only have 2 earlobes. That's pretty much all you get. So, yeah, that's, again, super close up of my earlobe. It's looking pretty good, pretty healthy. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you. You have a beautiful evening or morning, or have a beautiful life.